Hello and welcome to Thursday night, yet another round of the Beaconsfield Crit Club, race number 3 in Dolphin, downtown, 19.7 kilometres long, about 170 metres of climbing over 2 kilometre laps, 10 laps in total, 1 minute and 5 seconds to go. Large field from BCC tonight with about 30 riders entered. Monday's race, race number 5 in the series, was won by Stoneham in category A, Davis in category B, Shannon led category C, and Telford back again racing in category D. Some new riders tonight, or not new, but ones I haven't seen on screen for a while, but we'll come back to them shortly. Over 110 riders entered in total. The course, as I say, 2 kilometres long, very short laps, very sharp turns, relatively flat, one small climb at about 1 kilometre, gradient really, so great opportunity for breakaways, riders to hide out of view, and riders will be lapping each other very quickly, and riders will also see others coming in the opposite direction, so a great opportunity to hide amongst the crowd, but it's going to be difficult to follow people, so expect this one to be fast and furious. At only 19.7k in total, it's going to be over quickly. And here we go. Good luck everyone. And we'll just let it settle down. Lots of riders in yellow. I'm not sure what's going on. At least this week we've missed the annoying announcement from Zwift, but it looks as if all the BCC riders are in yellow, which is going to make following the teams rather difficult. But we'll see what happens. There we are up the front, Bracky in category A, and Stoneham I'm sure is in there somewhere. Lancier's following on behind him, rather frantic pace at the moment. Heartbeats right up there. Everyone warmed up, and this is the very front. Eco Bikes, it's a interesting name, ecobikes.com, and there's Quebrada from Beaconsfield. Still haven't got you on the list, but watch out for you now. And already, just very quickly, so these front riders just coming up to 1 kilometre. If I quickly go back through the field, Nixon category C, Barry Pedley onto the cobbles, rather noisy. And you could okay, Zwift is reporting 157 riders. There's under the start finish, I think it is there. Oh no, that's not, apologies. But at 1.2 kilometres in, 1 minute 40 seconds already, I reckon these riders are spread out over about 300 metres. There's Stoneham, O'Brien just ahead of him in that pack. Going to be difficult to follow people today. Sorry, just having a look to see some of the stats on some of these riders. Stoneham consistently performing in this series, a few wins under his belt. Bracky I think's got one as well in category A. Davis sitting up there as expected, and right at the front, let's have a look, Puchatek, if I've said your name correctly, on the front at the moment, so a couple of riders to watch there. Quebrada from BCC, so the leading A's mixed in with the leading B's. Not a large A field, I think about 12 riders in total, and there were some 40 I think in category no, 70 in category B, 57 in Cat C, 26 in D. So plenty of riders all over the place. You can see on the moving map on the top right. This is where it becomes interesting as riders approach the crossover points. They don't actually cross over in front of each other, but they come towards each other. And that's when Zwift often gets a bit confused as well. And this is right at the back of the field. You can see the difference now. The leading riders are at 1.2 kilometres. Sorry, the leading riders are at 2.9 kilometres into the second lap, whereas riders at the rear are at 1.2, suggesting, of course, that the Cat A riders are going at over twice the speed of the riders towards the back of the field. And mentioning the back of the field, I'll just go up through the group now to see who we can find. I saw a BCC rider just there, disappeared off the screen again. David Sampson, category C, 153 and a heartbeat, 350 watts going up that slight incline there. I suspect that average heartbeat is a fraction low for him, but I haven't looked up the statistics, but he may be pacing himself, which is not a bad thing to do in this race. Already I think riders are taking advantage of these tight turns. There's Wilkinson, Gavin Wilkinson, in I think maybe his third race. Needs to stay on the back of this pack though, not drop them, or not get dropped by them I should say. He's moving up now, looking as if he's working quite hard. Heartbeat over 165. And H.BCC, I might guess that is Hayden, but unknown really. Walker, two walkers from BCC tonight, Alex and Ed. I don't know which one this is. Ed, that's Peter Jones. Mark Shannon, one category C on Monday night. Peter Jones, the walker. I'm trying to click on him. This is Alex Walker. So Shannon previously racing in Cat B, now in Cat C, just a tiny bit more relaxed, if it's fair to say that, but a little bit more competitive in Cat C. Is a possibility that he can win, whereas in Cat B, once you get into the middle of that, it is very difficult indeed. Peter Jones also continuing to ride well. I'm moving now up through the field. Alex Walker again. Ketley. There he is. Ketley, haven't seen him on the screen for a while. Only about 5 or 6 seconds ahead of the chasing pack and ahead of him. Nixon, I'd expect him to be ahead of Nixon. Of course, he may be fit on the road. I was just saying Ketley may be fit on the road, but I haven't seen him race much on Zwift recently. In fact, this is the first time I've seen him in a while. Takes a bit of time to get up to speed. There's Collier riding in California, and I noticed he switched his flag to the USA. Maybe he switched allegiance from the UK to the US now. Forgotten all about us, but he's joining in, and that's what counts. But nonetheless, riding well. Rob Smith in with him as well. Brian Taff, all at about 5.5k. And there's Chris Reed just in this group as well. Consistently has ridden very well last season. Haven't seen him up towards the front this season. And as one of the larger riders, this is a course that should suit him well. There you can see, in fact, in the overhead, riders going in different directions, crossing over. Taff at 7 minutes 38 in, already 6 kilometres completed, entering the third lap. Charles Now, this is a little bit of a surprise, seeing Charles at 6.5 kilometres, chasing a bunch of BCC riders behind him. O'Brien 8 seconds ahead. I'd expect Charles to be a little further ahead than this, but trouble here, he may have missed a break from the group that he was in, and now he's probably not got many options. Very hard to tell how far ahead the next rider is. They pop up on screen occasionally, but unless you're right at the front of your group, it's not always possible to work out how far ahead the other riders are. There's O'Brien now 13 seconds further ahead of Charles at 7.1 kilometres. Coming up for the fourth lap. Quebrada. Bracchi in this group. Quebrada, Bracchi. I imagine, haven't seen him yet, but I would imagine Davis and Stoneham are around here somewhere. Lance here. Now, question with Lance here. He can, when he's got it right, perform exceptionally well on a course like this. Remains to be seen what he's going to do today. There's a lapped rider already, and that's taken 9 minutes. Chris Bracchi in 15th, 19th position, Quebrada 23rd. It's shifting around a lot. Try and get up to the front now. Buffrey, first position out of 147 riders. Davis, there's a surprise. Well, not really, but playing the game the way he normally does. Sitting with the front group, I think, for as long as he can. It's a tactic that seems to work quite well, and bear in mind Davis has 321 rides on Zwift under his belt. A considerable amount of time sitting on a bicycle indoors. But Bracchi's right behind him in this group as well, and as I said earlier, everyone seems to be wearing yellow, so it's little difficult to tell. And lots of power-ups coming out over the cobbles, and this small climb that reaches 5%. Featherweight, well positioned. In fact, I'm just trying to work out who is who. But leading group now, 11 minutes in, 9 kilometres, approaching halfway. This is going to be over almost before it starts, so riders not really having any opportunity to relax. Another rider just about to be lapped. Hendry, category C, being lapped right now by the leading pack. Lancia still in there, moving further back in the field. Quebrada, sorry, still in there as well. Stoneham, Angus Stoneham, both Stonehams I think riding tonight, certainly both entered. Stoneham just dropping off a little from the back of this pack, I think momentarily only. He's an experienced racer, has won a few of these events, but must be careful not to lose the wheel here. There's someone just given up right next to him. So Stoneham at 183 on the heartbeat. He can push that up to 200 plus when he needs to, and at 215 watts he has plenty of reserve power there. Consistently rides at over 4.4, something of that nature. So usual tactics from him at the moment. And 26 seconds further back, no, not 26, let me work this out, about 1 minute back, we have Charles in category B along with O'Brien. And there we have the riders meeting again at the crossover point. Oh, someone stopped in the middle of the circuit there. So O'Brien and Charles. Charles at 3.4 watts per kilo. Smith is in there as well. That's interesting. Taff. They are about 4 or 5 seconds behind O'Brien and Charles at 10.2k. And if I could, in fact, there is Charles and O'Brien just going around the corner with Smith and Taff chasing on hard. This will be a good pace, but 149 beats per minute from Rob Smith. I think he can push a bit harder than that, but Collier pushing a bit harder, but at the back of this group, Chris Reed not making a move yet, but sitting at 4.5 watts per kilo. Plenty of Beaconsfield riders in category B. And climbing up again at 4 or 5%. So just entering lap 6. Smith, Collier moving further back of the field. There's the other Barry, Pedley. Making good use of a power up, and he's right next to Shannon, winner of category C on Monday. There is Shannon on screen now. Pedley's Cat B should be a bit further up than this, but once you lose the group, very hard to bridge. Alex Walker, I think it is. Yes, I have the right Walker. Ketley getting dropped by Shannon and Co, and alongside Hisham. No, not alongside, in fact by himself completely. It's a difficult position to be in. Nearest rider a long way out front, the others 10 seconds behind him. Now he's got to make that difficult choice. Does he push on? Heartbeat is up there, but he has a high heartbeat normally, but he's not pushing out huge amounts of power, only 2.4 watts per kilo, suggesting he is in there for a cruise, or he may just be easing off a bit to join the riders behind him. And mentioning those riders, here they are, Nixon. And Hisham. And I did see in category C on Monday, Littlewood, I don't think he's racing tonight, was beaten by Cullen, which is something I've never seen before, and probably something I wouldn't want to see again. But anyway, I don't think either are on tonight. There's Wilkinson at 11.3k, still pushing on, riding well. Right next to Peter Jones, Chris Brackey. I'm not sure what he's up to. And Ware's in there, Sampson as well, all in this group. In fact, Chris Brackey, I suspect that might have been one of the many Zwift oddities. Lancia, I can't believe Lancia's in this group. Lancia is. Oh, what's going on with Lancia? It's quite a long group, maybe 50, 60 metres long, but Lancia has dropped well off the front. Back through the field, now sitting with category B and C. In fact, there's even a Cat D there with him as well. There's Wilkinson, Sampson, Ware, Jones, all together. And having a quick look further back, there won't be many more BCC riders behind this, but I'll check. O'Brien, what's happening with O'Brien and Collier? Oh, they're in the same group. O'Brien, Collier, Reed. Charles again. This is where it gets a little difficult to track them, as I managed to click on riders going in the other direction. So Lap 7, here we are, Davis in this group up the front still. If I can click on him, stop moving around, there he is. 180 on the heart, 250 watts, so manageable wattage. And this race will be less than 30 minutes. So all riders should be able to hold their FTP for the full duration of this. But I suspect Davis is sensibly letting someone else do the work up front. But that does, of course, mean it all comes down to a bunch sprint, which in crit land on Zwift is always interesting. Quebrada sitting right next to Davis. I suspect Stoneham is a few riders further back. Chris Brackey is in there as well. That's what I expected. Just couldn't find him. There he is. 177 on the heart, 350 watts there. He will fancy a win tonight. Davis will as well, of course, but unlikely. Quebrada, unknown rider to me. But I hope he's able to hang on. But don't forget, these are Cat A riders mixed in with Cat B. The Cat A's, I suspect, are saving themselves a little. And just as some indication, Ketley, Lancia, some 2 kilometres further behind. Sorry, not Lancia, Ketley. Yes, Ketley. Lancia's at 16.4k, Ketley's at 14.2, along with Nixon and Hisham. So he has in fact moved back towards them, or let them catch him up. And further 9 seconds behind them, Ware, Gavin Wilkinson, Peter Jones, forming a little group here. And I'm just keeping an eye on overall distance. I don't want to miss the finish. Smith pushing his average watts there. Heartbeat still quite low, along with Taff and Charles. Charles, whom I would expect to be further ahead in the field, but O'Brien in there as well. He often ends up riding by himself, but nice to see him in a group, so that could be quite a competitive finish. Collier 3 seconds behind. There he is. In fact, Collier can see that group just starting to pull away ahead of him. They're now 4 seconds up, and I suspect we'll go to 5 very shortly. No sign of Shannon, the winner of Cat C on Monday. And Reed is at 16.2 kilometres. So he has become isolated by himself. Let's have a quick look behind. No one behind him, no one in front. Maybe he's got a mechanical. He's certainly faster than that, and has on many occasions just managed to stay in Category C and not get a promotion to Cat B. And here we are up the front, and it looks like, did I just see Stoneham having moved into the front? Could be. Buffrey, Nino, Coles looks to be number 1 at the moment. It's changing around. Van der Merwe is the first rider, and Quebrada is in this group right at the front. That could be him in the stripy B outfit. Davis is there as well, though. And let's see how Stoneham's doing. No, Brackey has blown. He has not been able to keep up with the pace. And he's quickly drifting off the back of this leading group. Here come the PRs. Pace is beginning to increase. at 18.9 kilometres, less than 1 kilometre to go. And there is the finish on the screen ahead. Stoneham reading Quebrada. He looks to be the first rider from Beaconsfield. He's moving through the field into 5th place. No one's charging him down from BCC. He's lining himself up for the sprint. He's got a good sprint. He can accelerate quickly. Riders off the front have gone already. Stoneham is responding. Head is down. I'm not sure he's going to make it. He might just. No, he hasn't made it on the line, I don't think, but a great sprint from him. I have to look at the results. That was pretty close. And unfortunately, I will not get back to the other riders before they cross the line. Shannon I saw. See who we can get crossing the line next very quickly. Looks like Taff coming up. Charles, Taff. Next group I've got on screen. Smith is in there as well. Some surprising combinations in here. I don't think Smith will win over Charles. Just on the basis that Charles is younger. So there is Smith. Charles I've lost on screen as he moved forward. I think he has. So it's going to be Charles. As they come round the 180-degree bend, finish pops up straight in front of the riders. If they're not sprinting now, it's probably too late. You should see the power go up on the screen. It's a long sprint. Here they go. And that was Charles, Smith, Taff. Collier looks to be the next rider. By himself though. But looks like a great performance from him. Oh, Wilkinson in fact. Oh no, he's 2k back. Sorry, it's just the way the riders are crossing over on screen. And here comes Collier up towards the finish. Round the 180-degree bend. And there's the finish ahead. He's winding it up a little bit. Not too much. No one to race in the league. And we'll move quickly back. Looks like Pedley is the next rider on screen. Barry Pedley. There's the finish on the right-hand side. Round the corner once more. In fact, Chris Reed is closing the gap fairly quickly behind him. Let's just have a look. I don't think Chris Reed's going to get it. Pedley gets it, then Reed. And there's a Walker coming up. Which one is it? Alex Walker is next. And Shannon is in there. There is Shannon just having crossed the line. Didn't see who crossed the line first. Let's go back to the start. Or the top of the screen, I should say. See who we can get next. And Gavin Wilkinson at 18.6. Peter Jones, 18.7, has pulled away. So has Measham. Ware, Sampson are in this group as well. Ketley, not his normal position, but I suspect he'll hold this and try and take a sprint. He's got quite a good kick on him, so let's watch this group now. We've got Ketley, Ware, Wilkinson I think is in there as well. Sampson. And here we go, into the last 600 metres or so. Riders will have the exact distance on their screen. I can't see it, unfortunately. Ketley's already looking. Ketley's squeezing the power a little bit. He's not letting any of these riders get ahead of him. But Sampson is trying. Who's going to sprint first? Ketley's up out of the saddle at 13 watts per kilo. Here comes Ware. Oh, I think Ware may just have got that on the line. That was a great sprint for him, followed by Sampson. That was perfectly timed if Ware did cross the line first. I think he's probably a better sprinter. from what I've seen, but I wouldn't underestimate Ketley in any way. Here we have Nixon now, and I think Wilkinson is in this, I was going to say group, but it's only one rider, but somewhere close by. So we'll let Nixon cross the line by himself. He can only outsprint himself there. I'm behind him now. If we can find any more BCC riders, I'll put them on screen. Still Nixon. Okay, Brado, what's he up to? Oh, I think he's just gone round in a cool down lap. Ah, here we have Smith. What's he up to? He's on a cool down lap as well, as is Pedley. This is where it gets tricky to find anyone. Still racing. Right, I don't think I'm going to be able to find any other riders. One last check. Might just be some in here. Sorry, I can't catch you all crossing the line. It all happens rather quickly in a race of this nature, and especially with 30 riders, but well done to everyone. A good race tonight. Looks as if some took advantage of those sharp corners and managed to gain some ground on early breakaways. Can't see any more Beaconsfield riders, so we'll end the live stream tonight. Thank you for watching. Next race is, of course, on Monday evening.